All right, y'all. This right here is one of those episodes of Iyanla Banzan Fix My Life that I've been waiting on. Because I can really speak on this subject and relate to it from a secondhand perspective. Granted, I ain't never been married to no man that didn't want me. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Nor have I ever had a man with a whole lot of money. But I can still relate to what's going on. So me being from Miami, Florida, Miami produces the most NFL athletes, right? And so I've got a shitload of homegirls that I've known from like elementary school through high school who ended up with professional athletes. Not to mention I went to Florida State University for undergrad. So I got a second wave of homegirls who ended up with professional athletes. Not to mention, as long as I've been in Atlanta and me doing what I do for a living, I come into contact with all of these girls, Instagram faces, so on and so forth, who have been in relationships or who are currently in relationships with professional athletes. With me being the resident gay boy and everybody's best friend, I am the one who sat on the phone with these kind of women from the time I was in high school, talking about what is going on in their relationships, what they man doing, what he bought them, why they stay. So this particular episode really touched home with me from respect to Veronica and her current situation and how she ends up being a Cherisse later in life. So let's just jump right into it. Cherisse says that she ended up marrying somebody that was the complete opposite from what she wanted. Someone who was previously married, someone with kids, someone who was in sports and entertainment. So the moment she said that, I immediately turned my head to the side and was like, child, please. You know what I'm saying? You got with him the same reason everybody else did, because he was a man with money. Then I realized they had been together for 20 years. So I don't know if he had money 20 years ago. So I'm not going to put that on her all the way, but we've seen it. Fact of the matter is, men who have money for whatever reason, they get away with a lot of stuff in relationships, and a lot of people are willing to put up with the bullshit because of the lifestyle and the material things, and we'll talk about that as we go a little further. So Cherisse says, when Iyanla asked her when did she first notice the marriage was in trouble, and she says at year 9 he moved out of the room and moved into a guest room, and then she says she followed. Now let's pause and take a break right there. Granted, I've never been married, but it would seem to me that there are no greater writings on the wall than when a man gets out of the bed that y'all once used to procreate in and moves to another room. He don't want you. I understand marriages have problems and people go through things, right? Okay, so 3 months, y'all don't work it out. 6 months, y'all don't work it out. I'm going to be generous and say a year. Okay, after a year, you suggest counseling. Okay, we're not going into year 10 and you sleeping in another bed. We're going to get a divorce and I'm going to be happy, because I'm not going to be staying up in a house where I feel undervalued, or the fact that you... Listen, could you imagine coming home and your significant other going to another room? It just totally reinforces, I don't want you. And the fact that Cherisse stayed in a situation where she was in essence begging to be loved, to be honest, I'm really not buying the whole, oh, you know, I've been chasing love since I've been a kid. Yeah, that was a part of it. But what it really was you was holding on to the lifestyle. You were holding on to the lifestyle. And I love what Iyanla said. Is she said something along the lines of, you did not know yourself, so you sought validation from external things and validation from other people. There's just no way in hell, and I don't give a damn how much a person has, that they're going to treat me that way. Year 9 is when I would have made my exit plan. Now, mama ain't no fool, bitch. I don't gave you 9 years of my life. I ain't leaving with nothing. You know what I'm saying? You down there with so-and-so, I mean, you down there in your room by yourself, that would have been the day I would have hired a private investigator and I would have started building my case, and my emotions would have completely gone out the door, and it would have been no worry about the lifestyle, because bitch, I would have walked away with half of that shit plus half of what's to come. So that wouldn't have been no issue of mine. But I'm sorry, I think the Fendi, the Gucci, the Dolce & Gabbana, the cars, the vacations is what kept you playing a fool for so long, trying to impress Karen and Giselle and all the rest of them hoes that was going through the exact same thing that you were. You know, then Cherisse starts crying, and Iyanla says, what's your biggest regret? Why are you here? And she says, I wasted a lot of my life with somebody who did not want me. You know, y'all, I know that that has to be a hard realization for anybody in a marriage, because I've gone through that with friends. I was been like, man, Q, like it was high school, college area, even shortly after college, I went through a situation where I was chasing friend groups and chasing approval from certain cliques of friends, trying so hard to be a part of this clique. And it was like, and these people never wanted me. And when I realized that, it was like, damn, nigga, you spent 4-5 years trying to be down and they didn't want you. And then when it hits you, you realize, yeah, I really do look a fool and play the fool. Something else I found interesting is when she says the infidelity started year 8. She says, I made excuses for a man that did not want me in exchange for the material life. Don't we do that? Oh, maybe if I do this more, maybe if I do this better, maybe if I throw it back more, maybe if I stay out of his way, maybe if I let him cheat in peace, maybe if I just let this one ride, he won't do it again. And the reality of the situation, y'all, when it comes to people and when it comes to relationships, and I have learned this the hard way, it's not that difficult. Somebody that loves and respects you and wants you in their life, you know hands down that they want you in their life, because they call you, they check on you, they bring you food, they rub on you, they tell you they love you. It ain't hard to be in no relationship. And that's why I always tell people, I can't get down with this marriage is hard work verbiage that people love to throw out. Because me personally, I'm not working to be with no bitch. I'm not working for you to love me. I'm not working for you to stay in love with me. I'm not working for you to treat me the way I need to be treated. I'm not working for you to tell me that you love me. I'm not doing no work to maintain and grow any of that. I'm like Fantasia. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Think about the relationship that you have with your children. Think about the relationship that you have with your parents. Think about all the positive relationships that you have in your life. It's not work. They just work. And I've come to figure out when relationships just don't work, they stop working, it's because they're not meant to. Granted, this is coming from a single person, but I ain't got to be married to know how people work. So Veronica enters the room, and in the words of Iyanla, she is neck down dead. I mean, I thought Veronica was either numb, dumb, or dead. Iyanla was like, I'm not understanding how you sitting here telling this story and there is not an ounce of tears coming out of your eyes. You are neck down dead. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was upset with Veronica the whole episode through. Quiet as it's kept, I am not in the belief that Veronica came there for healing. I am of the belief that Veronica came there for a smear campaign against her husband dressed as a healing, because she was so just not involved in the process, trying to say the bare minimum. I just didn't really dig her, and I'm not trying to be funny, nor am I trying to exploit the fact that a man did somebody wrong. But if that's the way you operate in real life, I see why the fuck that man got bored and left your ass the hell alone. Quiet as it's kept, we all know what it was with Veronica. You were pretty, you were exotic looking, he had money. And I hate to be so superficial and vain, but we see this shit every day, and I'm just finna call it like it is. That motherfucker was ugly as hell. Veronica, you would have never gotten with that man had he been just some regular old man working in an office, and all things constant, he would not have been able to pull somebody like you, who society says, not me, but society says it's the creme de la creme because you tall, thin, light skin and got good hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never would have dated him. You got with him because of the money. He was an athlete, and I'm sorry, I have a hard time feeling bad for women who get with these men for no other reason than they're an athlete and could provide them with a certain lifestyle, and then they end up getting what they're getting. In 2018, y'all, there is no reason from now moving forward that anybody get with any of these athletes and think that their life gonna end up any way different than Basketball Wives and Iyanla Fix My Life. Yes, there are a select few of them out there who were raised properly and who value women, but you got to understand that these guys operate within a culture where money, fame, and popularity rule, and there's everybody around them is tricking off on their wives with multiple girlfriends. That sort of behavior is reinforced, and most of those guys are too weak to be stand-up gentlemen and commit to one woman. Okay, so that being said, I really, it sucks. It sucks that majority of the leagues across all of them are not Steph and Aisha or Grant Hill and Tamia. It ain't. But I mean, all things constant, especially when, ladies, especially when you looking at the dude, you know he ain't attractive. You already know that hands down you wouldn't talk to nobody like him. Y'all know this. And here's the thing that y'all don't get, ladies, that these men know. That man know he ain't never got no play from a woman that looked like you from the time he was in elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. Then all of a sudden he enters the league, and now he's got access to all these pretty, variety of women. Do you not think that in the back of that man's mind, he's already been scarred by the fact that he's been passed over by all the pretty women? So now that he got the money and can get all the pretty women that he wants, it is retribution for his childhood trauma. The trauma goes both ways. And he knows that all things constant, you would have never hollered at me, but you a gold digger and you in it for the money. And so I'm going to give you the money and some STDs while I'm at it, because I'm finna fuck everything with a skirt. It's just, certain shit is just simple. And I hate the fact, I'm sitting here on my high horse and I'm talking my shit. And I understand the way people were. I ain't gonna lie, if an ugly ass man came to me with a whole lot of goddamn money and he offered me a world that I felt as if I would not be able to obtain on my own, that I probably would entertain his ass for a while. But me personally, I think I got enough sense to keep that shit in its perspective. I think that me personally, I've got enough in my mind to not build fairy tales in the sky and understand that this is temporary and I need to get out of it what I can while the getting is good. And that's where the hell y'all fucked up. Y'all played the game but got lost in the game, and you should have kept your eye on the prize, which was the goddamn bag of gold at the end of the rainbow. Cha-ching! Now you stuck with all these damn kids and a broken heart. At any rate, I don't spend way too much time talking about that. They don't got off course, but real recognize real. Iyanla talks to Veronica about the potential of giving her sons to their father, and she's like, absolutely not, absolutely not. Now, for me in the very beginning, I didn't understand why Iyanla was going down that rabbit hole. Like, those kids were still fairly young. I am of the belief at that age it's kind of best for them to be, nurtured with their mother. Their father has a busy life. It did make me open my eyes to a certain thing, though. The fact that And y'all women, I know y'all gonna jump in these comments and light me up, but please enlighten me on how y'all feel. Women tend to feel like they have more right to the children than the man does. And many women I've heard use the basis that because they're the ones who carried them and had to push them out. And I mean, I guess I get that because that's what y'all tell me, but on the flip side of things, that's totally outside of our control. It's not like it's an optional situation. That's the way nature designed it. Yeah, you carried it and pushed it out, but you wouldn't be able to conceive it if it wasn't for me. You know, both people have a 50-50 role in creating it. Why is it that a lot of women are very uneasy and uncomfortable with the idea of the father potentially raising the children? Now, I get that the children are young and she wanted the children with her, but what about when they get older? Like when they get like 10, 11, 13, yeah, them boys need to go live with their daddy. They just do. We've already seen it. A woman can't raise a man. All this, you know, even y'all say a woman can't raise a man and all this single motherhood. Then get them boys to their damn daddy and make sure that y'all figure out a co-parenting situation that works for everybody and everybody's all comfortable. Even if y'all got to do an Alicia Keys, Mashonda, and Swiss Beat situation. But let's explore that. Veronica wasn't having it though. So they go into the room and they start doing the board game on the wall. What I like is that Cherisse was very receptive to everything that Iyanla suggested. She was acting right. She was playing the game. Veronica on the other hand said, oh my God, I got to do all of this. This looks like the SAT, something that looked like your dumb ass probably didn't take. But yes, this is Iyanla Fix My Life. We commissioned you for 2 days, 10 hours of production to participate in the making of a TV show. Did you think you were just going to sit there and do nothing? You did come there to do your work, right? It would seem to me that you would have been very open to all of it. Veronica sat her ass there and wrote on one piece of tablet paper and left all the rest of the poster boards empty. I thought that was so disrespectful. And you could tell that she had said in her mind, this is all I'm doing, and Iyanla gonna have to get what she can get. You know, ordinarily, Iyanla would have came in that room and got Veronica ass together. But what I love is that Iyanla was able to see through the 4 things that Veronica did right on the paper what part of her problem was. She still pulled a 1-2 move on Veronica. When Veronica started saying, you know, she's a woman who's insecure, this, that, and the third. And Iyanla said, and if you don't cure that, you're going to continue to attract a certain kind of individual. Let me tell you something. Relationships, I've come to find out, romantic ones, they're kind of like a predator versus prey situation. Do you realize that men who end up pimping out girls, they all attract a certain kind of profile? You know, women who end up being subject to domestic abuse always fit a certain kind of makeup or profile. You know, women who always end up with broke down men or vice versa always fit a certain kind of profile. There is an energy that you give off when you're missing something that says, ooh, I'm so hard up for a man because of this unresolved issue in my life that I'll take and put up with anything. And when you put that energy out there, there's always some no good ass man that's broken, that's like, I'm so broken, I can't put up with a real woman. I need a wounded woman who will continue to allow me to be broken and run all over her and do what the fuck I want to do. It's the perfect storm. And I love that Iyanla pointed out to her that until you fix this situation, you will continue to have the same issues and continue to attract those kind of people in your life. There is universal truth to when they say you are what you attract. You are. I know some of my friends keep saying, why I keep attracting these, you know, no good as whatever. It's something about the way your shit smell and your booty wind when you walk past that attract them kind of men. It just is. You know what I'm saying? When you can't attract a man or a woman, it's something that you giving off. You know what I'm saying? It just is, y'all, and that's undisputed. When they said describe yourself in 25 words, Cherisse was all into the process. She gave it her all. I am a woman who lost myself, who gave myself away for so many years to a man that didn't want me, yada, yada, yada. Veronica had nothing to say. Then she gets frustrated with Iyanla, and she let her kitty ass mind get the best of her, because she was like, you know, yeah, I hear you, but the trade-off, she kept talking about the trade-off. Let's talk about the trade-off. And this is the part I can relate to with all of my homegirls that date athletes and entertainers. The trade-off that she was talking about was leaving her big ass house with her nice ass car, her nice ass bags, and her ability to do anything she wanted financially. I get it. We all get it. We all want to live the life. We all go to college or work hard or fight for a promotion so we can make more money, so we can buy more shit and consume more conspicuous bullshit that we do not need. But here is the thing we got to understand, y'all, as we get older. And I just had this conversation with a friend of mine earlier today. I've watched so many of my friends, particularly my friends in Atlanta, my entrepreneur friends, that start to come into a little money. And I even had to even check myself. Why is it the minute that we get a raise or we come into money, all of a sudden now we got to upgrade our car when the car we got is working perfectly fine? All of a sudden the house that we worked so hard for God to bless us with, now this house is no longer anymore. And I need bigger closets, and I need a bigger bathroom, and my kids need their own bathroom. These are all manufactured needs. They're all manufactured needs, shit that we don't need. So what ends up happening is you end up being more loyal to living in $1 million home, and the validation that you get from it, from being able to walk around the streets and be the bad bitch because you drive a Range Rover in your $1 million home. But yet all the while a nigga at home fucking up your self-esteem, fucking other people in your bed, whooping your ass. And it's just like, at what point do you put yourself above things? And Veronica looks to me as if she's still in that place where it means more to her to have nice shit than it does to be treated nicely. This is why I personally don't get down with that whole situation of women getting in situations where they're just completely vulnerable to men, not contributing any old thing, because these men are half-ass equipped for those types of relationships, and they feel so beaten down by this society that they want a piece of property, and they begin to treat you like property. And I am sorry, I'm not an advocate of any woman going into any situation where she ain't contributing and a dude is just taking advantage of her. Because again, these men out here are so fucked up that they don't know how to respect that money makes them feel like men in a society that says because of the color of their skin they ain't shit. So by any means necessary, they want to feel like kings and feel equal to white women, not white men, so on and so forth. So they go out and get this harem of women because it makes them feel like men, and you there looking stupid. That's why I ain't never been a fan of that. I ain't paying no bills and the man supposed to pay all the bills. Keep on. I ain't saying there ain't no good brothers out there that have not been raised to respect a woman and still value her despite the fact that she's not contributing financially. But I'm going to tell you something, as a man, 90% of them don't, and that's just true tea. 90% of them don't. 90% of them feel like, bitch, I got your ass from the hood, I'm paying all the bills, you ought to be happy I'm doing that, you ain't going no damn where. And they know you ain't going nowhere because he's already tried you once, you stayed. He tried you twice. He bought you a bag or a new car and you shut the hell up. And after you do that once or twice, that already gives him, he already know what you there for. He already, I'm telling you ladies, I've sat in barbershops, I've sat at bars and heard men say to their homeboys, that bitch ain't got no job, she ain't going nowhere. That bitch can't go nowhere. She ain't got no... Man, this my baby mama. Man, this my old lady. She'll be alright. Man, I ain't going over there tonight. Where the fuck she gonna go? Her mama ain't got shit. I'm telling y'all what I know. I'm trying to put you up on game, sisters. Y'all say I always come across the women and I don't get on the men. I'm trying to put y'all silly asses up on game. I like when Cherisse said she was there to reclaim herself, the woman that she used to be. And Veronica says she wants to forgive herself. Cherisse says she learned that she was chasing love, and I can respect that. And Veronica, I don't think she learned anything. And, you know, she says she needs to learn to surrender. And she said it, and I feel like she was smart enough to say it. I don't know that she believed it. I feel like she was saying whatever she needed to say to pacify Iyanla in that moment. But learning to surrender to life and the process is very valuable. And learning to get out of your head and be honest about your intentions and what you're doing. Like Veronica, you just so mad with that man. She mad with that man. She mad that she done built sandcastles in the sky and it ain't happening the way she want to. That's why she don't want him to have split custody. You know, you ain't worried about split custody with that damn man. Who the fuck wouldn't mind having a 50% break out of life from their kids, especially if the children are with somebody that you know are not going to hurt them, their father? You know what I'm saying? No, you just don't want that man to have anything because he didn't want your ass to have him. Y'all, this was a good episode of Iyanla, and it meant more to me to get through the episode than to really dig into some of these deeper issues. But we're going to talk about some of this stuff more in depthly because there is a lot that can be spoken about. I mean, even with Cherisse, y'all, it was about the money. It was about the money, and I totally get it because many of us come from atmospheres where, you know, we come from working class families. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know how to dream in the color of driving a Bentley or having a yacht or having a maid. How many of y'all watching me, y'all hoes don't come from that shit? Most of us don't. So then when you're given a yacht, a mansion, a Bentley, you like, oh shit, bitch, this is the life. Like, and if I leave this man, I'll never get it again. So let me stay because this is a great feeling having these material things. And I'm not immune to it as much as I'm sitting over here talking my shit. The difference between me is I understand life and I understand the way people work. I understand people very well. And I'm going to tell you something. I would never, I don't give a damn married or not or how in love we are, I would never get in a situation where somebody puts me in a lifestyle that after a few years, I don't figure out a way to be able to maintain that lifestyle independent of that person. Now that I know I'm that for a fact, baby. Let me tell you something. Y'all be around here chasing these athletes because they be going to Buffalo for 4 months. That's 4 months my ass would have been sitting at home siphoning off all the fuck out his money, putting the shit in my mama name the way Shawnee was, and I would be investing and starting businesses that ain't have nothing to do with him. So if ever the motherfucker planned to act up, I could walk with no reason, or better yet, I could have leverage in the relationship because he now understands not only am I independent, but I've taken your money and put myself in a situation where I don't have to stay, and it gives you value in the relationship and you're able to demand a little more respect. That's just the way I see it. Some of y'all see it differently, but the way these TV shows and shit shaking out is that I'm more right. There are more people out there that treat people like garbage because they got money than there are that can respect them for not being a contributing factor. And that's just true tea. Anyway, we'll get into some of that later. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell button if you want to get all the notifications when I call. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.